Hello, you're watching World News live from Warsaw on TVP World. My name is Sasha Farba. Overnight, Russia launched a large-scale drone and missile attack on Ukrainian cities. In Kyiv, at least 15 people have been killed, including 4 children. 38 more have been wounded after Russian ballistic missiles and drones struck the Ukrainian capital. Our correspondent Oz Chatterjee is in Kyiv and has more.
I am at the scene of another deadly Russian attack on the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv. As you can see behind me, search and rescue operations are still underway, looking for people that may be trapped under the rubble. Dozens of casualties reported so far, with that death toll steadily ticking up. Now, the Ukrainian authorities say Russia launched some 598 drones on Ukrainian territory, 11 ballistic missiles and 20 cruise missiles. So a very busy night for the Ukrainian Air Force dealing with those incoming aerial threats. Now, among the targets in the capital of Kyiv was a building belonging to the European Union delegation. That attack has drawn strong criticism from the Polish Foreign Minister Radosław Sikorski, who says that Putin is making a mockery of the European Union and the United States peace process. So another difficult night for Ukrainians as Russia continues to strike civilian targets here in Kyiv. President Zelensky released a very angry statement in the morning, calling for a reaction from countries such as Hungary and China. Let's take a listen to that statement briefly.
We expect a reaction from China to what is going on. China has repeatedly called for not expanding the war and for a ceasefire. Yet this is not happening because of Russia. We expect a reaction from Hungary. The death of children should definitely stir far greater emotions than anything else. We expect a response from everyone in the world who has called for peace, but now more often stays silent rather than taking principled positions.
So a lot of anger here in Kyiv following another devastating night of Russian attacks on the Ukrainian capital. The Ukrainians feel not enough is being done by world powers to prevent Russia from committing more acts like this on Ukrainian soil. It's Oz Chatterjee reporting from Kyiv for TVP World.
Following the overnight attack on Kyiv, Mayor Vitali Klitschko visited the damaged areas of the city. Speaking to the media, he made harsh remarks about Russian President Vladimir Putin, saying that the Russian leader only understands the language of force.
It is Russian President Vladimir Putin who is responsible for this war, which he started and does not want to stop. He doesn't want Donetsk, Luhansk or Crimea. He wants the whole country. He is destroying cities and killing people. He only understands the power of force. We Ukrainians have to be strong. Our strength lies in our unity with our European partners and the United States, and together we can repel this invasion. This means modern weapons, tough sanctions and pressure from the international community to end this horror.
Residents of Kyiv have been shaken by overnight Russian drone attacks. Vladimir Yermolenko, editor-in-chief of UkraineWorld.org, spoke with TVP World about the latest developments from the city, emphasizing that, quote, Russians are hunting civilians.
We didn't sleep a big part of the night. We see that there was a destruction of one of the residential buildings, and we now have reports about 8 people who have died, and probably there will be more, because usually there are people under the rubbles and the rescue works. There are also reports that Russians attacked the trains, the station trains, but the passenger trains, and this also shows that they are more and more just attacking, just hunting the civilians. They don't care about the military targets. What I also know is that in like frontline cities like Kherson, which we visit quite often, that there is a real hunt for civilians, and Russian drones are just controlling the road that leads to the city and to some other frontline cities. So if you go just to visit the city on a passenger car, on a civilian car, you can actually be hit and be killed. So this is what's happening. We don't see any willingness of Russians to negotiate, to find peace.
Hungarian Foreign Minister Péter Szijjártó said that supplies of Russian oil through the Druzhba pipeline will resume in a limited capacity. The official said that thanks to intense efforts, a technological solution has been found to allow oil supplies to Hungary to resume in small volumes.
Szijjártó went on to say that the damage to the Druzhba pipeline after Ukrainian attacks was significant enough for the repair works to take several days to bring it back up to full capacity. According to the foreign minister, starting today, the Druzhba pipeline will operate in test mode, supplying Hungary with small amounts of oil. At the same time, Szijjártó said he continues to consider scandalous the statements from some Hungarian politicians who justify the Ukrainians blowing up the pipeline. On top of that, the official also urged Ukraine not to attack the pipeline in the future and jeopardize Hungary's energy security.
French President Emmanuel Macron has officially called Parliament for an extraordinary session set for September 8th. Prime Minister François Bayrou, who requested the meeting, intends to ask the MPs for a vote of confidence. However, the opposition has already announced it will oppose the motion. As a result, the government may collapse. At present, the opposition parties hold enough seats to likely defeat the vote of confidence, signaling that Péter is poised to lose and consequently resign. Despite this, Péter is determined to start consultations with the parties on Monday. He declared on Wednesday evening that he is open to all negotiations, provided that the parties agree on the urgent need to address France's escalating public debt. The PM recently compared the country to a sinking boat with its debt of 3.3 trillion euros threatening to sink the nation. The life of the nation is at stake, he warned in his first televised interview since the announcement that he would seek the confidence vote over his 43.8 billion euro budget squeeze. The Polish Defense Ministry is releasing a civil defense guide. The document is already up on the government's website and available for print. The ministry says it will also soon be distributed to every Polish household.
The book contains guidelines on how to behave in emergency situations. And it's not just about the worst-case scenarios like war. It's also about hurricanes, natural disasters, floods, fires and terrorist attacks. It details best practices to follow when we're forced to evacuate our homes. We are releasing this guide to raise awareness and spread knowledge. It's written in plain, accessible language and features beautiful graphic design. Writing down emergency contact numbers, prescription medicine regimens, useful addresses, this all may seem like a very distant issue, but we have to remember what happened in Ukraine in February 2022, when millions were forced to evacuate their homes overnight.
Poland's Prime Minister Donald Tusk has promised that attackers who physically assaulted a former health minister will go to prison for their crime. Adam Niedzielski headed Poland's health ministry from 2020 to 2023 under the previous conservative Law and Justice government. He was attacked on Wednesday afternoon by two assailants in downtown Siedlce, about 100 kilometers east of Warsaw. He was taken to hospital following the incident, although a doctor later told the press that the ex-minister's injuries were not serious. Tusk vowed on the X platform that the assailants would be caught and jailed. On Thursday evening, Poland will face Slovenia in the European Basketball Championship. The tournament is hosted by 4 countries, including Poland. Slovenian NBA star Luka Doncic says he cannot wait for the game to start.
We're very excited to be here, representing our own country. It's always a pleasure. So I don't know how we do. We'll see at the end. That's what I always say. But we're prepared. We are together in this, so I can't wait to start.
We play against the home team. First games are always tricky. A lot of pressure, especially in a home team. So for us, first of all, it's going to be important to take care of our game, to play the way we want to play.
On August 27th, movie stars from all over the world traveled to Venice as the city welcomed its 82nd annual Film Fest. The event will play host to Hollywood stars George Clooney, Julia Roberts and Dwayne Johnson, and directors Guillermo del Toro and Catherine Bigelow, who all have films debuting over the next 10 days. In grand style, the Venice Film Festival, the world's oldest, has kicked off with flashing lights and glowing gowns on the red carpet. The evening's brightest star, however, was German filmmaker Werner Herzog, who was presented with the Golden Lion for Lifetime Achievement, the highest award given in Venice. Herzog is a pioneer of new German cinema, characterized by daring, unconventional shoots that often put casts and crews into extreme real-life situations. The age-old game of chess is becoming increasingly popular around the globe. Julian Song, a chess international master, is part of a new wave of content creators who are attempting to make chess fun. Boasting over 1.5 million followers on social media, Song hopes his content with chess tips and tricks will rid the game of its nerdy image.
My goal is to create content about chess and to try to simplify it or make it a bit more fun, because it's true that sometimes chess can seem really intimidating. We tell ourselves, no, this isn't for me, it's too complicated. So my goal is to simplify it, make it more fun, with the aim of getting more and more people into playing the game. For example, on the world's main website for playing chess, chess.com, the number of French-speaking players has increased by 143%. So it's become kind of normal to play chess. It's not seen so much as a nerdy or geeky thing. Also, when you see content creators like Inox Tag or sports people like Wembanyama getting involved, that gives it, the game, a cooler image. So I think it's less nerdy nowadays.
C'est un peu une revanche personnelle.
For me, it's a bit of a personal vengeance. When I was younger, I didn't say too loudly that I played chess, or when I did say that I played chess, no one cared. It's not very nice to grow up knowing that no one cares about your passion. So it makes me happy today when I talk to young people who are at secondary school, for example, and they tell me that sometimes they see quite a few people in the playground playing chess. Honestly, it's so great to hear that.
And with that, it's checkmate for this Global News Update, but there's more coming up right here on TVP World, so stay tuned with us. Goodbye.